Hello, and welcome back to the Volume Vegan Cooking Channel. Chili is one of the first recipes I can't wait to make when the weather turns cool. This is the third batch I've made this year. My favorite chili is based off of a recipe by one of the people who, by virtue of the internet, taught me to cook vegan food. Isa Chandra Moskowitz. She's a cookbook author, a restaurateur, and creator of Post-Punk Kitchen, which was one of the websites that pretty much taught me how to eat vegan. She is a vegan cooking legend. I dream of visiting one of her 2 vegan restaurants. They're called Modern Love. One is in Omaha, the other in Brooklyn. I've got so many of her cookbooks. A few years ago, she went on a book tour and stopped in the town that I lived in, and I wanted to go so badly and get one of my cookbooks signed. I was sick, unfortunately, and I couldn't make it, but regardless, what an inspiration. I love her meaty beanie chili recipe. So the spice blend that I'm using here is pretty spot on hers, but I'm lightening up the recipe. Hers is a 3-bean chili. She uses black beans, kidney beans, and lentils for the meaty bite. And it's wonderful. I will actually link her recipe in the description in case you guys would prefer to try her version. She even makes corn muffins with hers, so if that's the kind of thing that you're into, do check it out. Now, I'm trying to cut back on carbs and calories. So while I am using kidney beans, because I just don't feel like chili is chili without them, I am using low-calorie black soybeans to replace the black beans, and Impossible Ground as a pretty authentically meaty bite. Now, this isn't exactly what I would call a volume meal, but it's so hearty and it's protein packed, and it really doesn't take very much to fill you up. I hope you're hungry. Let's get started. So start out by heating your pan to medium heat and then adding about 2 teaspoons of neutral high heat cooking oil. I always use the high heat oils when sauteing or lightly frying because I am not the type to stay aware of the temperature on the stovetop unless I try to do something like candy making, and it's pretty rare for me to try to do that. Once the oil is hot, add a chopped yellow onion. Now I'm going to sprinkle them with just a little bit of salt to help break them down, not even half a teaspoon. And then I'm not adding any more salt to this recipe. That's it. The Impossible Ground has a significant amount of sodium in it, and there is salt in the canned tomatoes, as well as the tiny bit of vegan Worcestershire sauce that I'm going to use. So I got salt-free kidney beans, and I'm not adding any more salt. While the onions are cooking down, go ahead and wash and chop up 1 green bell pepper, coming back to your pan periodically to stir the onions around as you're working on it. When your bell pepper is cut up, add it to the pan and stir it into your onion mixture. Now go get a pair of disposable gloves. I learned the hard way about 10 years ago, and yes, it took me that long in life to cut up jalapeno. But you must wear gloves or suffer such massive, painful, burning consequences in your fingers later on. Clean up and chop up your jalapeno. I'm using 2 peppers, but I'm removing the seeds. Use less pepper if you like. Remove the seeds if you don't like a lot of heat. Leave them in if you love heat. And once you're done with that, just add your jalapeno to the mixture and stir it in. As I was making this food, I looked up and I noticed that I had a ladybug watching me from the corner of my kitchen on the ceiling. They're good luck, you know. Stir the mixture in the pot here and there, making sure that the peppers are softening up, that you're starting to see brown bits forming on the onions. Things are smelling amazing. Now let's crank that up and make the house smell even better by adding in, I think Isa says to use 6 cloves. I clearly went above and beyond that, as I usually do with garlic. And this is more like eat cloves. Garlic your chili how you feel that you need to, and stir it in. While the garlic is getting incorporated and fragrant, come back over every now and then to move it around so you make sure all of the garlic hits that pan. And make your spice mix in between. I'm getting started with 4 tablespoons of chili powder. And 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, 2 teaspoons of ground cumin, I'm using half a teaspoon of black pepper and 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground cloves. Stir the spices together with a fork or a little whisk or something until blended. Sprinkle the spice mix over your pepper mix, stirring it in until it's well combined, and keep moving it around the bottom of the pot as you toast the spices. Once your kitchen smells so great that your neighbors are probably knocking to see what time dinner is, add 4 cups of water. Make sure that you scrape along the bottom of your pot to deglaze the bottom of it, loosening up any little browned bits that might get stuck to the bottom. Cover with a lid and bring the pot to a boil. And once it's boiling, reduce the heat and let it simmer for about 20 minutes, giving it a little stir occasionally. While that is happening, I am browning my Impossible Ground. I am using my cast iron skillet on medium heat. Impossible is not fat-free. The fat source is coconut oil and sunflower seed oil. Coconut oil hardens up when it's cooled, and it's going to melt enough for you to not really need to add oil when you're using a seasoned skillet like mine or a non-stick pan. I'm not adding any. Keep moving it around in the pan every few moments, giving it time to cook on the surface of the pan, and then move it around so everything gets evenly browned. I have sprinkled the ground with a little onion powder and some black pepper, and I also have a steak seasoning spice blend that I sprinkled over it. I'm going to sprinkle a little vegan Worcestershire sauce over it to add a little liquid to the pan without adding oil, just to give it a little bit more moisture to help it move around, but also that adds to kind of a steaky flavor too. And then this is what mine looks like a little closer to being totally done. It's fine if you have a few little pink bits here and there at the end. They'll cook when they're in the pot of hot liquid. After my chili timer went off, I added in the 2 cans of fire roasted tomatoes, my rinsed off can of black soybeans, my rinsed off can of salt-free kidney beans, and the browned Impossible Ground. Put the lid back on the pot, bring the mixture back up to a simmer, and cook it for another 30 minutes, stirring it occasionally. After the timer goes off, stir in 1 tablespoon of zero-calorie maple syrup substitute and 2 tablespoons of lime juice. Stir it in and allow the chili to rest for around 10 minutes, if you can wait that long, before you dig in. And voila, chili! This is my bowl. I have topped it with a little single serving cup of guacamole, some green onion, some hot sauce, And I'm giving you guys the illusion here that I'm only going to use like 5 of those tiny cauliflower crackers that I keep showing you in this thing. But the serving size on those is 50 crackers at 100 calories. So it's safe to say that off camera, I'm crumbling up another handful of them on top. It is so good. This chili is so good. It's so good that my kid went back for a whole second serving, like an entire second full bowl. And as amazing as it is, fresh out of the pot on the first day, right after you finish it, it's absolutely ridiculous after the flavors really develop overnight. We ate nothing else for like the last 3 days. Thank you so much for checking out another one of my cooking videos. I hope that it helps you make something warm and delicious this week. Please like and share my video with your friends. Get in the comments and tell me what you think. And of course, subscribe to my channel while you're here. Turn on those notifications so you never miss another one of my videos. Have a wonderful week. I hope you eat really good today. I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye-bye.